What is happening, gang? It's your boy TechneeX, and we are finally here with Bleach Rebirth of Souls. We are going on this journey of enlightenment, and I am going to teach you guys how to play Bleach Rebirth of Souls from the ground up with every single character. This is the ultimate character guide that you all have been waiting for. I will go ahead and show you guys all of the ins and outs for every particular character that I can come up with, and things that make the character tick and break, and of course give you the advantage and the disadvantages of their movesets and their playstyle and whatnot. These videos will come out once a week or so. I will be playing online with said character that I will be going ahead and making these videos for. And of course, this first video here is for Genryusai Yamamoto, my favorite Bleach character. And I can honestly tell y'all that I have had an amazing time learning the head captain of the 13 Gote squad. So without further ado, if this is the kind of content you love and you want to get more of this kind of content, hit the thumbs up, hit the follow, hit the like. Let's push the video out there. The ultimate TechneeX guide is here for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Number 1, Yamamoto-san. Let's go ahead and break it down. Let's get it. All right, here we are. Shigekuni Genryusai Yamamoto. That is right. He is the 13 squad head captain, and this man is pretty much one of the hardest characters in the game to control. Now, there are a lot of factors into why I say this, and probably one of the biggest things about him is that, unlike what you think, this character is actually more so of a range specialist than he is an up-close and personal character. Let me explain before you start butchering me in the comment section, because I know a lot of you guys will definitely come in and try to butcher me in the comment section and tell me what am I talking about. Genryusai Yamamoto's attack pattern as he goes into the transformation state changes slightly by the addition of the flames to his Zanpakuto. So what does that mean? What that means is when I go into transform state and I do a dash forward step, this dash forward step that I just performed here will also cause flames to erupt from the floor. Due to that, your extension or your reach actually changes for Genryusai Yamamoto. Now, the thing that a lot of people confuse him with is that because he has a lot of power, when you're hitting someone, you are supposed to be up close and personal and supposed to, let's say, destroy their Zanpakuto like it's butter, right? But the game itself restricts you from using his power at your leisure, and that comes with the handy dandy bar that sits right on top of your spirit energy bar, which is called the overheat bar. Now in the character guide, it kind of explains to you what the overheat does, but it doesn't really explain to you what the overheat does. In short, if you go into overheat, you will lose your key card. The game has it very fine balance and very fine tuned that if you do too much with Yamamoto, you will go into overheat mode. Now your attack power raises and your speed also raises. People don't catch that your speed also raises. But unfortunately, your health bar starts depleting insanely fast. The craziest thing is, your health bar will deplete faster than the overheat bar will deplete at the bottom. No matter what you do, no matter what technique you use, that bar will go down a lot slower than your health bar unless you have 2 Reishi bars or 2 spirit energy bars, and you're able to produce the Taimatsu or the Onidiri, which will then cause the overheat to disperse from your body and cause the meter to dissipate. In that exchange, though, unfortunately, you do leave yourself wide open. So if the character that you're facing is waiting for you to use that technique to disperse the overheat status, they can just literally snap behind you or wait till you use that move and just simply step in and punish you for it. So now that I got your attention, and now that I explained why this character is not designed to be up close and personal, now let me explain to you why this character is designed to be played more so like a Dhalsim. That is right, a Dhalsim mixed with Guile, than he is a up and close kind of character, let's say a la, I don't know, Ryu or something like that, or an Akuma. I know you guys are like, well, that's 2D versus 3D, and I want to explain why I'm using the 2D references versus the 3D references is because by the rock, paper, scissors, and the styles of the characters, you can still define the quality, and you can still define and categorize each character, whether they're in the 2D space or the 3D space. Dhalsim has long arm. Genryusai has long reach. One of the longest reach, in fact, in the game. As you step back, this is still getting further and further away from the character. As you can see, I am literally almost across the screen, and this is how far it can reach with his flames. This is imperative to understand because what you are supposed to do with Yamamoto is exactly what you would do with Dhalsim in Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 2, whatever game that you play Dhalsim in. Keep the opponent at bay, keep the opponent away, and bother and pester the opponent until you see a good opening to take some good chunk of damage. So now that I got you hooked on this video, like I said beforehand, if you haven't done so yet, hit that follow and let's continue this breakdown. Now, part 2 of this breakdown, now that we understand the concept of Yamamoto and how Yamamoto works, is that Yamamoto is stale as bread, okay? Yamamoto's combos are not 50 hit combos. Yamamoto's combos are not some crazy looping combos or anything like that. Yamamoto's combos are pretty straightforward and deal massive damage to your health bar just by simply following through with regular combos. But if you do extensions, there are some setups that will allow you to take up to 60-70% damage combos just by adding certain things in certain parts of your combo to switch it up for Yamamoto. We will not start this video off with a combo guide. We're going to start off with what makes him tick and what makes him break, like I mentioned before. So, and what makes him tick and what makes him break, here we go. First of all, what makes Yamamoto tick is his signature move. His signature move is one of the best, and I mean the best signature moves in the game because of the coverage and the plane that it covers. If the character sidesteps, he gets caught. If the character backsteps and is not still in range, he gets caught. If the character steps forward, he gets caught and punished. Either way, this signature move is one of the best signature moves in the games, hands down, and is one of the best moves to keep characters at bay. At the same time, of course, if you read the instruction guide, you know that you could do a double follow-up. But check the bottom left corner where I mentioned before that there's a heat level. Using the signature raises your heat level immensely. Catch my drift when I say that it raises the heat level immensely. There's a catch on that, because if you do only the first signature move, it only raises it by 1/4 of a bar. But if you manage to hit him with 2 back-to-back signature move, i.e. do the combo, then your heat bar raises up to 60%. which that right there is already playing with danger. Now, the heat bar works as a deterrent for you to be too OP or try to be too pressury with Yamamoto. Again, pointing to the fact that Yamamoto is a zone artist and not a character that's supposed to be used for rushdown and be on top of the other characters. That's just the way the game is explaining it to you straightforward, to learn how to balance when you attack and when to defend, so on and so forth. The key thing about Yamamoto is keeping the bar high enough that you take the additional damage. So the bar being high is great. To reduce the bar, all you have to do is hit the opponent with 3 weak attacks. That is right, 3 weak attacks causes the bar to get reduced by 25% or up to 35%. If you catch them carefully, you can go ahead and extend the combo immediately or cause a reset by just going immediately from here and then mashing the square. Yamamoto also has one of the best and sickest thing in the game, and that is that his startup frame for this attack is one of the fastest startup frames in the up close and personal battle. So then here you're gonna go ahead and say, whoa, Tech, didn't you say Yamamoto is not an up and close personal character? Yes, I did say that, but I never said that you can't use him up close and personal if you need to. So now that you need to, I am going to go ahead and show you guys how to dominate the up close and personal battle in regards to Yamamoto, and then take it back and show you how his mid and long range works in order for you to achieve the perfect dominance of the flames of the 13 squads. So up close and personal, like I mentioned, his attack here is one of the fastest attacks and one of the fastest recovery attacks as well from just a single tap. So a lot of people will mash on you. A lot of people, if you whiff, they will try to hit. You will automatically get your turn back if you are managing to whiff outside of their range and they try to attack you immediately. Yamamoto's startup attack is one of the fastest, if not the fastest startup attack in the game. Don't quote me on that, but just from my experience, I have had major success with almost every single character in the up and close personal battle. When I go ahead, jump in, hit them with one, if they block, I go ahead and cancel it, and it's a delayed cancel on the technique, or it's a delayed cancel on the hit, and that causes you to be able to do the upswing again. So that keeps opponent that come into your space at bay as well. If they are there just mashing, if they are playing on the defensive, it also gives you the ability to be able to step in and go ahead and cause the drive rush or the drive grab here from Yamamoto. Now, speaking of drive rush or drive grab or whatever you want to call it, the breaker, Yamamoto does not have a dashing breaker. You have to, unfortunately, use this up close and personal, or else you will whiff and it will not grab. Now, the difference between other characters and Yamamoto when it comes to it is the confinement of the space that you can use his tech here. So Yamamoto himself has a little bit of more space, leeway to grab and do anything to you, and that's because his particular breaker works based off the tip of the sword of your character, and it doesn't work like the other characters who have to be closer to you in regards to being able to pull off the breaker. So that's something to understand when you're trying to tech and when you're trying to figure out the character. If you see that the sword is close, you're able to go ahead and use Yamamoto's breaker. It is a really cool tech that I learned with Yamamoto in order to gauge my distance, but at the same time it also gives you the spacing necessary to land the weak. So if you land the weak, just know that if you land the weak attack and you delay the weak attack from close, it will land twice if the opponent is not blocking. If the opponent blocks, the first time, then the second time, it pushes him back into the space. Another concept to know is that if you land a weak attack, this attack will not land at all. If you land the weak attack, the breaker will not land. I repeat, if you land the weak attack, the breaker will not land for Yamamoto. So if you do that, you're going to whiff heavy, and that's going to be some major damage. So be careful when you're using the breaker to get close and personal, or make sure that if you're playing the neutral, you get close to the swords and then use it, which will be the best way, because they will be weary of you using this attack. And if they try to strike, then you could go ahead and grab them, and it literally be kind of like you countering their sword and boom, getting in, and now you could go ahead and deal some damage. So that is the close game for Yamamoto. That is how Yamamoto works in the close game. Now, you're asking, okay, well, if I'm only using the weak hit, right, to keep him at bay, how about his combo setups and his combo concepts? Yamamoto, like I mentioned beforehand, this technique right here, just the square, square, square combo, allows Yamamoto to reset the fastest in the game, period. Yamamoto has the fastest neutral reset. You can start this combo almost immediately, and it's not a loop. That is right. It's not a loop. The opponent can choose to try to attack you, and you'll take your turn back. That is just that simple, because that's a design concept to keep the opponent from getting in on you once they got in from the other angles of your character. So just knowing that and understanding that is the best way to play with Yamamoto in regards to like his combo routes. Now, speaking of another combo route, one of the big ones, of course, is maintaining the overheat bar. The overheat bar, like I mentioned beforehand, enhances your strength overall. So the quality of your attacks and all that go and get enhanced. The unfortunate thing is, if you get into overheat, you have to reduce that bar immediately, or your health bar just disappears, right? If you have two Reishi bars, or two spirit energy bars, two of the yellow bars down there, then you can use L2 circle and go ahead and disperse the heat and get out of overheat state. It's imperative to understand that his character works best if you balance the bar. So by balancing the bar, that means get your hits in, get your licks in, and then step away and let them come to you. Let them come to you because you have one of the fastest startup attacks. Let them come to you because if they're just moving straight forward, you could still hit them with one of these and push them back. Let them come to you because if they attack you and you press R1 and you're up close and personal and they're about to hit you, you press R1, you will get the strike back. You will get the counter in that sense. If they pass your first defenses and your overheat bar is already high or is at a level that you have to play a little bit conservative. That is the essence of how you would play with Yamamoto when you're either here, here, or here. Part 3, combos. Now we get into the combos. So this part of the video is going to literally show you guys some of my combo setups from basic all the way to advanced, into using the reverse gauge, other situational setups that only work if the opponent has, let's say, 30% of health or less, etc. This is the part that a lot of folks would normally skip to. Never mind what Tech was talking about. Let's just go ahead and watch the combos. If that's what you like, this is the part for you. Here we are. His combos are short and simple. A lot of his combos are easy to link up, but unfortunately, his combos are not sexy. They're not some 50 hit combo. There are literally 14 hit to about 33, I think is the maximum that you can get. In this edition of my combo video, I am playing the game how it's intended to be, without any loops, without any breaking mechanics or things like that, or breaking resets. So that way you guys get the full essence of how the character is intended to be played, and how playing with this character the right way also can get you to your destined promised land and being the best Yamamoto there is out there in the Soul Society. So here we go.